Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Layer by Layer, the show about 3D printing and our place inside the industry. Today we're going to talk about Meta's giant 3D digital twin catalog, how we're going to buy your products on Etsy, and then discussing why businesses continually reinvent the same wheel. But before that, let's go ahead and pay the bills. This episode is brought to you by the Slant 3D Etsy plugin. The Etsy plugin allows Etsy stores to get access to a large number of 3D printers for free. Nothing is paid until something is sold. You're able to connect directly to the Slant 3D print farms so that you have hundreds of machines supporting your store as it grows. If you're an international store, you get distribution inside the United States. And if you're a United States store, you don't have to worry about building and running your own shipping and fulfillment. If a customer makes an order, we ship the order directly to their door. All you have to do is take care of designing amazing products and taking care of your customers. So check out the Slant 3D Etsy plugin. All right, into the news. Meta launches world's largest 3D model digital twin catalog for AI-driven research. Facebook's parent firm Meta has launched its new digital twin catalog, advertised as the world's largest and highest quality 3D object model dataset. The catalog was developed by Reality Labs Research, their VR research unit. It features over 2,400 detailed 3D models of real-life objects, also known as digital twins. Designed to advance 3D reconstruction research for e-commerce and immersive reality applications, these models reportedly deliver millimeter-level accuracy, closely matching their physical counterparts. The models, which span a range of everyday items like toys and kitchen utensils, were captured using a 3D scanning rig from Covision Media. Researchers can now access the DTC to train, evaluate, and fine-tune AI and machine learning-based reconstruction techniques. Meta has also announced a new partnership with Shopify to advance research into object reconstruction. The collaboration seeks to bridge the gap between the complexities and cost associated with 3D model creation for digital products. Okay, there's a couple of slants to this story that are interesting. First, obviously, Meta has given out 3D models in order to train AI models for reconstruction of real-world objects. This data set is tiny. 2,400 objects. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of data sets out there that are larger, that have been around for a long time. I remember in like 2016, there was an object database that was put together by like MIT, I think, which was a robot had picked up and looked at, and that was used for manipulation training. So this may be a higher fidelity set of scans than the other ones before, but it's not a big data set if they're seriously training AI. But I don't think that's what this is meant for. The relationship with Shopify and everything else creates the reason this slant of the story is interesting, especially interesting for a lot of people who watch this channel and are interested in creation of products. If you are someone who is modeling original products to be sold with 3D printing, either through your own print farm or using us or whatever it happens to be, you have a tremendous advantage in the next version of e-commerce. Because right now there's a fundamental sticking point in e-commerce, which is people don't know how big objects are. And now many folks in the audience right now are saying, oh, but you show photos of it next to a coffee mug. Well, first of all, a lot of people don't show objects next to a coffee mug in their photos. Product photos are generally quite terrible. But even if they do, that doesn't translate for a lot of people. People still wonder how big it is in space. So in the e-commerce community, the discussion and the technological roadmap has been around augmented reality demonstrations of products. So, we bought this spool or whatever else it was. Well, let's see a preview of that spool sitting on your machine or in your space, or I want that chair, or I want that cup. Show it in my world in an AR context so I know what it looks like and how big it is. This is what a lot of e-commerce platforms, including Shopify and many others, are working towards. CG Trader has been helping out with this. Things might be, I don't know. But the point is, this is where e-commerce is going. So if you are a seller of 3D printed items, you have a tremendous advantage because you already have 3D models of your object, which many products won't. Those products are going to have to support themselves with the AI-generated 3D model render, which will undoubtedly be somewhat buggy. So given the fact that this is where e-commerce is headed, and it's a lever that will give advantage to stores, anybody doing 3D printing right now should be interested in this. Aside from the AI training and that kind of thing, that's a whole different discussion that's not really relevant to this, because again, this 2,400 models is not enough to do relevant AI model generation training. So they're using this as some kind of a baseline R&D experimentation, little batch, or just getting it so close to digital physical reality. With, by the way, 1 millimeter accuracy is not very close to real digital physical reality. Anyhow, this is not for training. This is about preparing augmented reality e-commerce. This is what this is about. So again, if anybody out there is a business person who is selling 3D modeled products, be ready for this, because Shopify apparently will be turning loose a number of features at some point in the future to allow augmented reality shopping of your items. You have a tremendous advantage. So figure out how to get them rendered, figure out how to get those models posted and protecting the course. So there's that. That's the only news this week. There was not a lot of news to go over. Obviously, Nano Dimension approved the purchase of both Markforged and Desktop Metal. So that is going through here right now. The shareholders are all okay with everything. So that's that. Also, update to last week. I wasn't sure if the Markforged deal was a cash or a stock deal. It's an all cash deal. Nano Dimension is just going to pay up $115 million. That's a high cash outlay for a company that they're effectively absorbing. Markforged might be in a position where maybe Nano Dimension is just trying to get the customers and IP, and the rest of the company might be in bad shape. So that's a possibility within that. But I don't know. They're paying it all for cash, though, which means they just want a clean break. That's odd, because that also means that like the founders of Markforged don't want to stick around in Nano Dimension and that kind of thing, because everybody's selling out right away. But anyhow, I do apologize for my voice, guys. If it's not obvious, I am somewhat ill. So we're filming this as best we can. This probably won't be a very long show, but my voice is a tad gravelier than it normally is, but we'll get on through it. And I hope it's going to last all the way through. Okay, let's see here. Product updates. So Etsy plugin. First of all, down in the description, there will be a link to our affiliate code for the Etsy plugin. If you click on that code and sign up for the Etsy plugin, you will get a $10 credit for your first print. So basically, you can buy a $10 print from yourself. This is effectively us giving free samples to anybody who signs up for the Etsy app, so that you guys can double check our quality, see how everything works there. So yeah, sign up by the link below, and you'll get a $10 credit to your Etsy account, so that you can purchase your own print for free. And then you can test it out and play with it, and there's no cost to you. So there is that. Before I get to that one, I'm going to talk about other updates. Shopify, no big updates over there. Shopify, the affiliate code works for Shopify as well. And then Tangled is shut down until January. There will be some big revamps of Tangled in January, so stay tuned for that. We may have an announcement before then / release, but it will be kind of a pre-order thing, so we will see how that goes. Should be interesting, but yeah, we're working on that and getting ready for Christmas season. The big thing right now is we're going into Christmas season, which are so busy, guys, hence the sick. We're getting ready for the shoe to drop. So like, no joke, I've mentioned this before, but if you're working to get ready for Christmas, like, Christmas is right now. This is the moment. Get all your stuff ordered, because here in 3 to 5 more weeks or something, all bets are off, and there's no more resources available because everybody's absorbed it all. So just so you know. Let's see. Okay. On the Etsy plugin, we can go back to the Etsy plugin now. Prototyping will be coming soon, probably in the next week or two. We will release a feature in the Etsy plugin where you can automatically order a prototype inside of the Etsy plugin, and that way you don't have to use the print-on-demand app. We're trying to make it as seamless as possible through there. So you can upload files, you can see your quote, and you're like, I want to double check that file, make sure Slant 3D is printing them well. And those prototype features will be available. Basically just a little button where you can say buy now, and that'll be available. And then of course, if you sign up by the affiliate link below, you get $10 credit for all that. In relation to the Etsy plugin, we started up a new YouTube channel called Slant Print on Demand, which is a whole separate YouTube channel. So far, we have been reviewing Etsy stores and giving advice about how to improve them and increase sales and that kind of stuff. But we want to expand that format and also help out a lot of the 3D printed Etsy sellers out there. This is both a discussion topic and kind of like an announcement. But we have set aside a budget to purchase items from 3D printing Etsy stores, new 3D printing Etsy stores. The point of this is so that you guys can get your first sale and your first review. We will purchase this item and we will send a review back to your store. And the reason we're doing this is because a lot of you don't do it yourselves. Here's what I'm gonna do. Every Etsy store gets started up, and then people turn it on and then they wait for someone to buy something from you. That is the wrong thing to do. Call your mom, call your cousin, call your wife or husband, and have them buy an item from your store and then review it so that you get one sale and one review that is good. And that kicks your store off so Etsy knows, okay, people will buy this, people are interested in this, we will start sending more traffic to your direction. If you just sit and wait, you are fully dependent on luck. So it's really important to take that action so that you're not dependent on luck. But since we know a lot of people aren't doing that, we're going to do it ourselves. So again, down in the description, there's a Google form. Sign up, put in your Etsy store link, and we will purchase an item from you. And then we will review that item. The rule for this is that you have to have fewer than 10 sales. You do not have to be connected to the Etsy plugin, our Etsy plugin, to be qualified for this. We're going to buy it from everybody because this is just generally grow Etsy and 3D printed products. However, if you are plugged into our plugin, we might buy something more expensive. But no, there's no requirement on that right now. But yeah, the point of this is to show people how to kickstart their Etsy store. So we're going to go and just put our money where our mouth is and go buy your items from you. So again, down in the description, share your Etsy store link, and we will purchase an item from you and give you a review afterwards. Hopefully it's a good item. That's be great. If you're plugged in the Etsy plugin, even better. You'll get a review faster because it'll ship to us same day. But yeah, we're going to do that to help all you guys get your stores kind of kicked off. And yeah, we set aside a limited budget. We don't know how many we're going to do or what it's going to be because all your prices are different and that kind of thing. But we're going to buy a bunch of stuff and give it a review. We will also present that stuff either here on podcast or in a separate video on the POD channel where we will review those items on camera. And we'll talk about the design of them and that kind of stuff. So if you want a review for your Etsy store, your first sale, and an engineering review of your product, put your Etsy store down below. That's what we're going to do. We just think it's incumbent upon us to help everybody else out get rolling, to get this thing rolling. Because there's just, this is what comes up, is that whenever people start businesses, people always have the mistaken belief that they're the first one to do this thing. And that includes both the product idea and the operation of the business. People think they're way more unique than they actually are. So much of business is finding the answer that is already out there. In this case, getting your first sale. Oh, how do I find a customer for my first sale? Well, go call your mom, hand her $20 and let her buy stuff from you. Is that shady? No, your mom is buying it. Oh, and it's important to get this going. And this applies to everyone. It's called, there's some phrase for it, spiking the peg, or I don't know what it is, but like homeless people or entertainers on the street will throw some cash into the hat so that people aren't the first one to throw cash in the hat. So if you create a store, buy a couple of your own items or get somebody you know to buy some of your items and get reviews on there so that there are some sort of purchase. The next customer then can make a decision that is not biased by, oh, this store is new, about whether the product is good for them or not. This applies to everything. Everything that you have done or are going to do has been done before. Employee insurance, shipping, running an Etsy store, taking product photos. Everybody has done that already. Those are very well understood things. If you want a business to be successful and to grow continuously for a long period of time, it is very important to learn the lessons from other people as fast as you possibly can and suck that information down. This is why a lot of people point to like mentors and that kind of stuff. I've never really seen mentors do useful information at a detailed sort of level unless they're right in your industry. A lot of mentors are very spectator-ish, where they'll be like, oh, how's it going? That seems like a good idea, that kind of stuff. Like, it's very useless. A mentor directly in your industry who's like, oh, you're running Facebook ads? Did you know that Facebook just died last week or whatever it was? That kind of stuff. Those folks are worth their weight in gold, and you need to buy them a really nice dinner if you're asking them for help. Use that resource if it is available and offered to you. Do not abuse it, but leverage it. Because so many businesses languish for long periods of time because they figure it out themselves. And that is the wrong thing to do. We have ChatGPT, we have Google, we have YouTube. Define the question you're trying to answer. Create 5 different versions of that question. Search them all up on every platform and see if you can't find somebody who answers it for you. And then, by the way, when you get those answers, listen to them. Many people like to get into their own head of like, oh yeah, that guy says that's how that works, but it won't work for my situation. That's like saying, oh, the calculus, my professor only taught me this example, but I can't use it in this math problem. No. Learn how to use it, observe, understand it, and it will be more useful to you. So maintain open-mindedness, because just because they may present it in a particular example does not mean that it's not applicable to your particular example. It almost always is. And many people miss out on information because of this. I have. In like management and that kind of stuff. There's very simple and universal rules of management. Hire good people. Be passionate about what you do. Yada, yada, yada. Many things that are trite are very true. And people get around them of like, oh, I don't need to hire good people. I'm going to make 2 half-competent people, put them together. I'm going to get 1 competent person for half price or something like that. Or I'm going to have somebody who's remote go and do it, who's working from Zimbabwe or whatever it happens to be. A lot of these cheat codes, they're like, oh, that doesn't apply to me. No, it still does. Many of those maths or creative problem solvings generally ignore the point and break down at some point in the future. It's kind of like quick, easy money. Generally, it won't last for very long. So learn the lessons as fast as you can, internalize them, believe them. This is another thing. People very often approach advice from public figures with suspicion. What I found is that people who are in a position where you even care what their advice is don't care about whether you take the advice or not. Therefore, they have no reason to lie. So when Jeff Bezos says, this seems like something that worked pretty well for Amazon, he's not trying to mislead you to stop Amazon, to keep you from becoming a competitor from Amazon. He literally does not care. He is literally just saying the facts as they are because it's way easier to tell the truth than to try to lie or create some manipulated conspiracy. And people get in their head of like, oh, he's just telling us that because he's got tax deductions or he doesn't want to be a big billionaire. No, he honestly does not care. He's a big billionaire. He doesn't give a crap what you think. So listen to him. He can be the most truthful. But anyhow, but yeah, if you're starting up a business, take the shortcuts that people tell you. Listen to them, observe them. Presume that you're wrong, especially if it's your first time through, because you probably are. If most people would be more successful if they literally just copied someone else at first. Copy someone for as long as you can, and then when you run up against places where you can't find someone to copy, then you invent the solution. And that sounds bad, but it's not. It's how you learn more quickly. People have a sense of arrogance when they go at certain problems where they're like, I'm going to solve it my way or whatever it was. I'm like, why would you do that? It's all been solved already. Run with those solutions. They're available, they're fine, they're the state of the art. If you want to be a YouTuber, go watch Mr. Beast or even Logan Paul or insert name here, whoever it is. Copy their style, literally. Take one of their thumbnails, remove their face, put your face into it, and rejigger some other stuff, and use that. And that's fine. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're ripping people off then. No. You're standing on the shoulders of giants is what you're doing. No one would ever talk to a mathematician and say, you used Euler's method there, cheater. No, I used it because it was a tool to get to this place, and then I carried it further. Once you get done copying the thumbnail, go ahead and improve upon it further and target it towards your group. That's when you start learning. Start where everybody else left off and then start building on top of that. This is what people always miss out on because they think they got to start at zero and build up from there. No, take the shortcuts. Most businesses don't. And again, this was kind of the impetus for us saying we're going to go buy your products from you guys. You guys aren't buying them from your shelf already. So we've set aside funding. We're going to buy products from y'all to help you jumpstart your stores. Learn from it. Check out the Slant POD channel. Again, we're doing full reviews of stores, showing how to sell more stuff. We have operated very large Etsy stores in the past. So we're giving as much information as we can to help you guys build good Etsy stores too. Because if more items are sold, Etsy, Shopify, more 3D printed items are sold, then people get back past the entire industry grows. Because if more stuff is sold, well, more services can be built, more products can be created, more people can make a living with it. That's all great, but there has to be some first people across the wire. So as some of the first ones across the wire, we're going to go ahead and help other people across as much as we can. So we're going to buy your Etsy products. So once again, link down in the description. Share just your Etsy store link, and then we will go to your store and buy something, so long as we still have budget available. But okay, that's that, guys. Like I say, my voice is going away, so this is probably going to be a shorter podcast. Comment below if there's topics around 3D printing technology or engineering or business that you would like us to go over in future videos. And of course, if there's topics or video themes or ideas that you want us to do, comment those. We do read every comment for better or worse. So even if we might not be able to respond to them, we do see them all. Thank you guys all so much, and have a great day, everybody.